Hi everyone, it's Jenny here from The Bear and the Fox, and I've got some more books to share with you today. Now, November is a really busy month for us because both my boys have their birthdays in November. So today I thought I would just do another quick roundup of all the new books that I've been adding to my reading pile recently. First up is a book called Nasty Women, a collection of essays and accounts on what it is to be a woman in the 21st century. I picked this up at Lighthouse Books, which is Edinburgh's leading independent radical bookshop, a wee while ago when I attended an event that a friend of mine was hosting there, and it's a lovely wee book to dip in and out of because the individual essays are quite short and it covers a whole range of topics by a whole range of different women. So I've just been dipping in and out of this whenever I have the time. Then also on the same night at Lighthouse Books, I also picked up this book, Notes to Self, Essays by Emilie Pine. Now, this is another great book to dip in and out of because again it's a collection of essays, and Emilie writes about all kinds of things: addiction, fertility, feminism, sexual violence, depression, and they're all really brilliant to read, really well written. And on the back of the book it says, do not read this book in public, it will make you cry. And yes, it's true. So it's up to you whether you want to read it in public or not, but this is another lovely wee book to dip in and out of. The other few books that have made their way onto my to read pile in the last couple of weeks are all from the library, and the one that I'm stuck into right now is called An Ordinary Man, the true story behind Hotel Rwanda. Now, this is quite a hard-going book. It's all about the genocide that took place in Rwanda in the early 90s. Now, obviously I'd heard of the genocide, but I have to admit I didn't know that much about it. And there is this amazing page on Facebook called Humans of New York, which you might have heard about, and Brandon, who runs the page, he's an amazing journalistic photographer. So he started out taking photos of people on the streets of New York and interviewing them, but he has also started featuring other places around the world that he has visited where he has photographed and interviewed people. And one of his most recent trips was to Rwanda, where he interviewed a series of survivors of the Rwandan genocide, and I followed that series and read all the stories that went with the photographs that he took, and it really made me want to find out more about Rwanda and learn more about the Rwandan genocide. So I checked out our library to see what books they had on the topic, and this one jumped out at me. And while it's quite hard going to read, it's also a very easy read, obviously not in terms of the content, which is very distressing to read about, but in terms of the way it's written. So if you're looking for an accessible book on the topic, then I would really recommend this one. The next book is something completely different. It's called Paper Ghosts, and it's a bit of a crime thriller, which I have a soft spot for. I came across this in a roundup of book recommendations. I can't actually remember where. It might have been in a magazine or on a blog, but it doesn't really matter. So our library happened to have this and I borrowed it. I've not started reading it yet, but I'm really looking forward to cracking into this. It's about a man who was acquitted of murder and now lives on his own with nothing but fading memories to keep him company until the day that his daughter arrives to take him away. The only thing is, she's not his daughter. It's a woman who is convinced that he is guilty of murder and that he killed people, including her sister Rachel, and she takes him on a drive around to various places in the hope that this will revive his memory. And the question, of course, is, did he do it or did he not? Has she made a big mistake? Because if he did in fact do it and is a serial killer, then it's probably not a good idea to be driving around in a car with him. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And the last book that has joined my to read pile is one that I came across by accident at our library. So when you come into our library, there's this desk where they display book recommendations. Sometimes it's on a theme, sometimes it's new edition, sometimes it's completely random. And there was this book and the title caught my eye. It's called Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis. And the author of this book grew up in Kentucky, and it's his memoir, and it's all about growing up in white working class America. Now, I spent a summer as a student in Tennessee on exchange at East Tennessee State University, and Tennessee isn't that far away from Kentucky, so I've got a bit of an interest in that area of America, and that's why I picked this up, and I look forward to reading it. And that's it for today. Those were all the new books that have joined my to read pile recently, and will probably keep me going for a while. Obviously I'll have to prioritise the library books because I need to take them back at some point, and then I've still got the other two to dip in and out of over the coming months. So maybe there was something there that caught your interest too, and I would love to hear what you're reading at the minute as well, so do feel free to leave a comment. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please do like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Happy reading. Bye!